as you recall, or maybe most of you don't, back during the 1980s, the Reagan administration with George Herbert Walker Bush as vice president and actually calling the shots since Reagan had been shot and took a long recuperation. The big issue came up about the Star Wars program. You know, it was we were going to put all these satellites up. We were going to weaponize space, something the whole world says, no, don't do that. Okay? But, of course, we had to combat the evil empire, which collapsed under its own weight, at the time, about the time the Reagan administration ended. So that turned out to be pretty phony, and it was a huge boondoggle. And so during the Clinton years, it kind of got put on a back burner. But then, on December the 13th, 2001, following the false flag operation of 9/11, the Bush administration totally abrogated the anti-ballistic missile treaty, and again began with the same program, but retitled as the U.S. Missile Defense System. And even through the Bush years, George W., when most people didn't want to raise a voice against the administration, then nevertheless there was still some contentiousness about the U.S. Missile Defense System. Again, weaponizing space, a move that everyone in the world says, no, we don't want to do that, and ringing Russia with offensive missiles in Poland and in the Czech Republic, and in trying to place them in Georgia, and trying to bring those countries under the NATO military alliance. Well, now, have we forgotten what happened when Russia tried to put some offensive missiles in Cuba in 1962?
We
had
Jim?
the missile crisis.
As
and,
what?
I mean, we almost went to World War III.
Why did the Russians put the missiles in Cuba? Because JFK okayed, under McNamara, the deployment of Jupiter-C nuclear-tipped missiles in Turkey. It was a response to American provocation.
Right, and once again. And the Cuban Missile Crisis, where we were so relieved to see those ships turn back and everybody said, yay, JFK, because he made the Russians blink. It was a deal, folks. We agreed to withdraw our missiles from Turkey if they would not put their missiles in Cuba. And even Khrushchev, in his memoirs, wrote that he had no real expectation that he'd be able to leave those missiles in Cuba. He wanted to get two concessions out of the United States, and he got them. Yeah. And that was, number one, remove the offensive missiles from Turkey, and number two, that we guaranteed we would not again militarily or even militarily support an invasion of Cuba, which we have not done. So it was a deal. But anyway, so then we get the George W. Bush administration, and we're back to the U.S. Missile Defense System and program, which everyone still was arguing about. And the Obama campaign said on several occasions that he was opposed to the U.S. Missile Defense System. Oh, wow, change, okay? Except last month at the Munich Security Conference, when the U.S. watchdog media was asleep, very little reporting went on, Vice President Joe Biden made a major speech, and he said that the Obama administration will continue the development and deployment of the U.S. Missile Defense System. So, what changed? Nothing. But it even gets better, because a few days later at the Munich Security Conference, Obama's national security advisor, General James L. Jones, got up and made a talk. And first, he praised the attendees of the Munich Security Conference for honoring Henry Kissinger. Okay? The architect of our foreign policy for about the past 30 years that got us in the situation that we are today. But Jeff and friends, listen to his opening remarks. Thank you for that wonderful tribute. This was from James L. Jones, National Security Advisor at the Hotel Bayerischer Hof, Munich, Germany, on February the 9th. Thank you for that wonderful tribute to Henry Kissinger yesterday. Congratulations. As the most recent National Security Advisor of the United States, get this, I take my daily orders from Dr. Kissinger, filtered down through General Brent Snowcroft and Sandy Berger, who is also there. We have a chain of command in the National Security Council that exists today. Henry Kissinger, whoever voted for him. Henry Kissinger, by the way, is a Republican. Henry Kissinger is a ranking member of the Council on Foreign Relations, the Trilateral Commission, a frequent attendee to the secretive Bilderberg meetings, and is wanted for war crimes in several countries. He can't even go to some countries because there's arrest warrants out for him. And this is the person that is giving daily orders to our National Security Advisor for President Obama. Where's the change? There's no change. Folks, we're still under the thumb of the same folks that have wrecked us politically, geopolitically, and financial. Okay? It's just right there, and these are in their own words, but it doesn't get reported, and nobody knows. So we just blithely go around dithering and wonder why we're in the shape we're in, and we keep sitting back and scratching our head while the government votes ever-increasing largesse to the very people who have wrecked our economy. The bankers, the lenders, the mortgage holders. Okay? It's insane. But, you can't seem to get anybody in power who actually knows what's going on or would even stand up and tell the truth, except for Mr. Freeman.
Couldn't agree more, and I sent you the story. It's up all over the place now. I don't know how long it'll last. I'm going to keep it up for several days. This guy really just said, all right, to hell with it. This is it. I'm telling you like it is, folks, and there it is. This man was, remember, nominated to be the #1 top intelligence official in the Obama administration, basically. This is where he was going.
And hide and watch. The corporate mass media will bury the story. They will drop it if they even present it. And he will become, like Ron Paul, a non-person.
Right.
Okay? And actually, Ron Paul's not a non-person. They wouldn't give him 2 minutes during the campaign when he was actively trying to run for president and telling people the truth and correctly foretelling what was going to be happening to us in the financial arena. But yet, after the election, when he's just another congressman. All of a sudden, when everything he said began to come true, then they discovered him, and they've had him on more in the mass media
than he was during the whole campaign.
Than they did when he was campaigning for president of the United States.
Wow.
If that doesn't tell you the media is under total control, I don't know what would.
No, nothing else will. I mean, Jim, you've been truly magnificent in your efforts to write about these things, tell the story in your books and on this program and other programs, and our listeners know that. I'm afraid we only get to a small fraction of a percentage of the American people who really care, though. We do our best. That's all we can do. When the masses are controlled like sheep in a pasture, and that's how serious and thorough the control is. You can't really hold them accountable. All they know is to put their heads down, chew, and swallow. If they look up, they're shouted back down, or they're given some other kind of feed that draws their attention away. It's sad, and they really don't have a chance. Plus, let's be honest, the average individual in many cases doesn't want to know.
Oh yeah, it might be discomforting. They may have to get out of their easy chair and I don't know, go vote or God forbid, go attend a public meeting.
I've said for years, what you folks can do is try to run for local office. I know it's not pleasant. You can make a change there. You've got to make your effort now, or communitarianism will come in and sweep your city away, and it'll be a socialist enterprise, just like that. That's right. In November, we swapped National Socialism for Marxist Socialism. Yep. Always great to talk to you, my friend. And, are we out of time? We are. Oh, my God. How quick it goes. You want to come on again in a couple of weeks, just let me know. There's so much going on now. We'll do the same thing next month. Okay. All right. You be good. Take care of yourself. And remember, Jeff told you so many years ago. He did. All right. Thanks, Jim. Take care. Back tomorrow night. Thanks to all of you for being here this evening. We'll be with you at Rense.com, and do support our sponsors, please. This is it. Without you folks helping out, well, just remember, it's your program and your website. Back tomorrow.